Scott Epstein, Rocky.
Let me tell you about Scott Epstein. Scott Epstein was a personal friend of mine. I've known Scott for over 30 years. I always got phone calls from him. I worked with him. I worked for him. He always sent me a Christmas card. Matter of fact, I got a Christmas card from him I brought with me today. He always did. He always kept in touch with me. Scott, you're in heaven now. You're in a good place. And may God look after you. And I just hope someday when I get to heaven, Scott, I'll have a seat sitting next to Scott.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend as much time as I would like to have with Scott, but every time I did see him, the man was always there with a smile, welcome, and always looking to see if he could help in any way, whether it was a ride somewhere or go fetch something, and it turned out to be a welcome face anytime I showed up at an event, and that was always a thrill to have people that would be a friend like that, anything that you might need. I really appreciate it. I always think of Scott as one of those faces that you look for in a crowd, no matter where you went. So I'm going to miss Scott, and condolences to his family, and we know that Scott's in a better place, and pray that they would have peace about it. That, man, I remember a lot of people talking about Scott. I remember I was real good friends with a lot of people. I always associated with superstar Billy Graham, because Billy would always say something about him. Of course, Bill here, and all the crowd around. Elliot, Professor Elliot used to talk about him all the time. And a lot of people associated with the wrestling. So I'm going to miss you, Scott. God bless you.
Koloff. Several people said that Scott's in a better place now, yet he's here with us today. He is. Davey O'Hannon.
You know, the wrestling business has changed so much since guys like us have been involved in it, and it's more of a social business now. We had a bit of a closed shop back in the 70s, and it was very hard to get close to somebody. Nobody said this better than my friend Tony just did. And since it was so closed up, we were very, very careful about who we let close to us. Yeah. And it was really easy to get close to Scott Epstein. Yeah. Scott Epstein has left a hole in our hearts. Yeah. By leaving us so early like he did. Because Scott was a trusted friend. Yes. And also, like Tony said, you didn't hear us say that. Now, when guys like Ivan or Rocky or Tony or Billy, we see each other, it's like homecoming week for us. You know, we lived together and we traveled together, and we went to good places and bad places. But you know what? A constant when you went someplace was Scott. He was a comfortable friend to be around. Yeah. Because we could trust him. Because we we never knew, and I'm not including the guys we worked with, but who we worked for sometimes. Yeah. You never know who you could trust. Right. You know, if you had the unfortunate occasion to go to Memphis sometimes, if you had a big appetite, you might have a problem. Yeah. All right? So when you saw a face like Scott, wherever it might have been, you were comfortable because you knew you had a friend that you could depend on. That's right. And I miss him. I think about him every day. I saw the entire wrestler movie once. Sorry, but I watch it a whole bunch of times to catch one scene because I get to see my friend in that movie. And his memory is never going to go away. And hopefully we're going to all be together someday and I can hear that melodic voice of his talking to me like that. Yeah. So I miss you, Scott. And to the Epstein family, I want to tell you, those of us who knew him very well loved him. Yes. That's the bottom line.
I don't know that I really knew Scott at all. I think a couple of times when I came into town with other wrestlers and we got picked up on him, but I don't believe I had the real pleasure of getting to know him real well. But I can guarantee you that if some of these guys over here, with the credentials they have and the way I know them as I know them, believe me, If they say it's so, it's so.
I just want to say that I used to roll into towns like this, buildings like this, hundreds of times over the years with Scott, and he always loved it. I mean, it was in his heart. He was like a kid in a candy store. It was a second home to him. And the fact that he's not here today, it's a huge presence that's missing. And I said to Ash that when you have 700 people at a funeral, it's a testament to somebody's life, what they've accomplished. There are millionaires that have a funeral, there's 3 people sitting there, and 2 of them are waiting for his money, and Scott had 700 fans, friends, family, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. He will certainly be missed, and we love him, always will.